Barrel rolls is the reporter thrown into the secretive world of the Forex Super Model, where nothing is as it seems. Beware the techno-monk, and steer clear of Professor Code and his two assistants. Give the senior trader a wide berth, and don't expect any sense from the risk manager.
Good morning, I'm Professor Code and this is the Forex Super Model daily briefing for Tuesday the 9th of the 3rd, 2021. The time is 0455 GMT, Asian session coming to a close, European session about to fire up, our lunchtime North American session. Right, let's get going then. Yesterday, Monday the 8th, we had a positive opposed driver in the pound at plus 146, front and back door flows mainly coming out of the euro at minus 137, next out to the yen at minus 122, and the dollar was the positive rock at plus 113 on activity of plus or minus 259. Intra-week then, this is from yesterday, Monday the 8th, open to about 15 minutes ago. We've got a negative opposed driver in the yen, front and back door flows, mainly going into the pound at plus 224, into the dollar at plus 56 and out of the euro at minus 36, which is a negative rock. Activity plus or minus 280. Right, finally intraday then, which is basically the Asian session to about 15 minutes ago. We've got a negative opposed driver in the yen at minus 121, front and back door flows going into the pound at plus 77, into the euro at plus 60, and the dollar is the negative rock at minus 16 on activity of plus or minus 137. Right, what's going to knock this about then? Right, well, Sunday we had a strong China trade balance, if you remember. Monday, which was yesterday, we had weak JPY GDP, so Japan's GDP was a little bit soft. And Tuesday we've got Euro GDP and we've got the Royal Bank of Australia Governor Lowe speech today. So that's that. Wednesday we've got China CPI, US CPI and CAD's rates decision. So that's Wednesday, rates decision. And Thursday the 11th we've got Euro rates decision. So a couple of rates decision in the tube this week. Right, interestingly, China intervened in the stock market yesterday. Their equivalent of the plunge protection team came in and hoovered up a lot of selling and turned the market around. So they intervened in equities. As I've said to you, we've got this. They've got quite a short window to turn the global economy around to make themselves look at how they want to and achieve their greater than 6% GDP growth. Anyway, I'm not going to bang on about that anymore. Right, we all know the story there. So let's just get rid of this and have a look what's happened in the wider market, on the other asset classes, etc. Right. We're doing all right with our trades now. We're about 700 points up. So we'll talk about that at the end anyway. Right, Euro then. Euro complex is strong except against the pound and the AUD. The yen is weak across the board. The pound is strong across the board. The Swiss is weak except against the yen, the dollar and the New Zealand, which are weaker. The CAD is strong except against the euro and the pound. The AUD is strong except against the euro, pound and CAD. The NZD is weak except against the yen, which is weaker, and the dollar is weak except against the yen and the NZD, which is weaker. Right, so what have we got there then? We've got yen weakness, pound strength come back, and take your pick in the middle. Right, so let's have a look at the other asset classes. So just get rid of this. Right, dollar index. We've got this sort of scenario, and it's just come off a little bit. So that's the way the dollar. So the dollar's been pumped above the recent significant high, and then it's come back a little bit. Right, gold. Gold very small, basically stuffed, but just showing signs of rolling around on the floor. Right, oil. What have we got? Oil's basically on a tear, and it's just come off slightly, but it's basically near the highs. Right, Wall Street, S&P, and the tech. That's the batting order, and Wall Street has got this sort of scenario. It's basically come back to as near as you can say its previous highs. So Wall Street is the leading equities in the US. Next the S&P, and the tech's lagging. Right, what else have we got? US 10-year bond and the bund. Right, so we've got the US 10-year has had basically the price has dropped. It's come back a little bit, but yields are very strong in the US. And the bund, the price is relatively higher, therefore yields are relatively weaker. Remember, you can get a bit of a handle on the euro dollar from this, from the spread between the US 10-year and the bund. Something to think about. Right, copper. Where can we do this? Right, copper. Copper then had this big pump, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Came back to there, it went down. Where are we now? And it's about at the 2.5 mark now, so it's about 2.5. About halfway, slightly less from the pumps. And what else we got? The interesting one is US steel, we always have a look at, and this one was in the lows. It's now about half marks. So US steel has come up considerably yesterday. Right, so let's just get rid of this then and make some final sense of what's going on. Right, well, we actually added to our we're long AUD, what is it, dollar times 2 now. We're short NZD, in particular with the euro, the pound, the CAD and the AUD. So effectively we're long euro, pound, CAD, AUD against the NZD, and we're punching about 700 points and change profit. So things are starting to go nicely, but the overall scenario is what we're interested in. The macroeconomic picture is starting to fall into place now for our trades. China basically is throwing its muscle around. It's laid its cards on the table. Failure will not be an option for China. By hook or by crook, China data will be improving from now on, maybe with a few blips, but particularly after this month into the second quarter. Chinese assets will be on the up, and this will trickle and ram itself into the global economy. And this is why we're pretty much long AUD, and these are the ones, and we're also, arguably you could say the New Zealand dollar will benefit, But as you know, the New Zealand dollar, if you look at our complex positioning, has already had the pump, and New Zealand dollar data is starting to roll over, and the AUD is very, very, has got a hell of a lot of elbow room. So that's where we are. We're long AUD, and we're short the NZD via being long Euro, Pound, CAD and AUD. Hope that was useful. See you tomorrow for the daily briefing. Thank you very much.